Pub and travel bans proposed under sentencing rule changes. People convicted of crimes in England and Wales could find themselves barred from going to pubs, concerts, and sports matches under changes to sentencing rules being planned by the government. The reforms would allow courts imposing non-custodial terms to have the power to hand out driving and travel bans too, and order offenders to remain in specific areas. Justice Secretary Shabana Mahmood said criminals must have their freedom restricted in society if they are serving community sentences, but some have raised concerns about how the new measures will be imposed. A recent review recommended fewer custodial sentences for less serious offenses as a way of dealing with overcrowded prisons. Courts are currently able to impose limited bans on people convicted of certain offenses. For instance, someone found guilty of violence at football matches can be banned from all stadiums. But the Ministry of Justice, MOJ, says it plans to introduce legislation to allow more restrictions to be imposed by judges and magistrates as a form of punishment for any offense in any circumstance. It means offenders could face additional penalties unrelated to their specific offense, with those who break the rules being taken back to court. Offenders released from prison who are supervised by the probation service could also face similar restrictions under the plans, as well as more mandatory drug testing, even if they do not have a history of misuse. But some in the hospitality sector have voiced concern about how to practically implement more widespread bans on the likes of pubs and gigs. Michael Kill, head of the Nighttime Industries Association, said ministers should work with the industry to ensure the scheme does not unfairly burden venues that are already struggling to survive. While we fully recognize the intent behind these measures, they cannot simply be imposed on a whim, he said, adding there must be sufficient resource, planning and cooperation between the sector and government. Former Old Bailey criminal judge Wendy Joseph KC told BBC Breakfast, a number of really good results could come from the scheme, but that, it's not going to work unless it's properly funded, and carefully thought through. The idea you can keep people out of pubs might be putting a lot of weight on people who run pubs, she said. She added that if the scheme was introduced, you've got to find a way of catching the people who breach the rules, and punish them. The MOJ said the plans were part of wider sentencing reforms aimed at deterring crime and ensuring prisons never ran out of places for dangerous offenders. It added the changes would toughen up community punishments. The government began releasing thousands of inmates early, soon after coming to power in 2024, saying they had inherited a prison system from the previous conservative